All right, we're live. Check. Can you hear me? Am I here? All right, well, I'm gonna assume that I'm here. It says I have no viewers, so I'm gonna double check. Oh, I have one viewer. Look at that. One viewer. Woohoo. I don't know who you are. I don't know what's going on. Hey. All right. Well, that's a good start. It means somebody's seeing me, and yeah, something's going on. I'm just gonna hang out for a bit and see if anybody else. Oh, yeah. Hi, Mom. See what else happens before I get into to more of this, and you know, give myself another few minutes because I don't really know. Yeah, I was going to go through all the photos from last week real quick and then go through the scans of them. So that would be this guy. Uh-oh. There we go. So last week I had it so that I didn't see my chat, and today it's not showing me what's going on as far as my stream. So, well, I guess I'm going to switch to stream and see what's going on. One person still. Well, so last week we looked through some of these photos that I had pulled. Got these shots. We got Barrett Thompson in Bootleg Canyon. And get that in focus. Yeah, Barrett Thompson, Bootleg Canyon. This is all 2002. And then this shot of Vince D'Angelo that a friend of mine, actually not a friend of mine, someone, actually don't know, someone on Instagram sent me a message and mentioned his friend Vince, who had been in this photo. And this was actually in Bike Mag. It was, yeah, one of my shots in Bike Mag. I can't speak. One of my shots in Bike Magazine back in 2000, I think it actually was printed maybe in 2003. But Bootleg Canyon, Boulder City. I used to go to Boulder City a lot and visit my friend Brent, especially in the winter months. In the spring when it was cold in Vancouver, Vegas was a pretty cheap trip. And Brent would pick me up at the airport, go hang out at his house and shoot photos and see what's going on. And yeah. This shot of John Jesme, we talked about, that ran in Dirt Magazine. And then this is a shot of Vaughn Williams, the no-hander. And then I got this photo of Evil Dave and Phil Edelson on the tandem. David Clausen Vanua shot. And a bunch of other people racing. Maxine Irving, Anka Martin, David Kay again on the right there, Quentin, Phil Toonsman, Corey LeClaire. I posted this one on Instagram yesterday, I think, maybe today, of Corey on this ladder bridge, Chris Donahue, a couple shots of him, toboggan in Vancouver skate parks, a couple more of Chris. Jeff Gulovich, my first ever photo of Jeff Gulovich, I think. And then a couple shots of Dylan Tremblay. So that's stuff that we looked through, and my process goes kind of like this. I go through and go through a whole bunch of different slide sheets, pull stuff out. When I like it, put it in a fresh sheet for scanning, and it ends up looking like this. And this is stuff that I'm interested in. Not necessarily all of it's going to get scanned right away. As I mentioned last week, I'm running out of space on hard drives in my on my server, so I'm not scanning everything. I got to figure out how I'm going to finance some new storage space. But oh yeah, also got a haircut. So discovered I still have ears. They're yeah, right where they're supposed to be, I guess. Hadn't seen them in a while. But then I pull photos out, and once they're pulled out, I will put them into, well, a sheet, pull them out of the sheet, scan them at some point in time, and trying to do that fairly quickly. So last week, on the weekend, I went through and I scanned everything that we looked at. So I've got here the shots from that we just looked at in that slide sheet. So let's start with this one. This is Barrett Thompson, Brent Thompson's son. This is, again, this is 2002. Bootleg Canyon, very rocky. Vince D'Angelo, this is the one that was in Bike Magazine, and jumping over a bush at sunset. Lit him up, looked pretty nice. And this is all, I mean, I'm amazed at how well I used to do with this stuff, you know, not being able to see it. I knew what it was going to look like, even though the cameras weren't digital. I just, you know, I'd take out my light meter, check a couple things, look through the camera, and be like, yeah, this is how it's going to turn out. So pretty stoked that I used to be able to do that. I'm not sure if I could still do that the same way today. John Jesme, and what you'll notice on this, if I zoom in, is that I've scanned these, but I haven't really retouched them, and that's all dust. And I use a anti-static dust cloth and a blower to get dust off, but there's still dust. I mean, it's just, you can't get rid of it. So not much, but you can see some of it there. So I got to go through these now and add all the information to them, and dust them and make them look better. So John Jesme, this was in Dirt Magazine, I believe, the 360. Vaughn Williams, Tuck No Hander. I'm not sure who this is filming down here with the little handy cam. Kinda, I don't know who it was. Shot of David Kay coming through the canyon at the bottom of Ginger Trail. If you've ridden there, Ginger Trail is steep and gnarly, and at the bottom it drops into this little slot canyon, and a little waterfall drop in the middle of the canyon. A couple spots where rattlesnakes have been known to hang out in the rocks, and this is getting close to where it comes out of the canyon. So I used to love this shot. You can get in there and you know, just suck somebody out of this little canyon. Maxine Irving. Up in the rocky rocks. This stuff is so hard. Well, it's not hard. It's easy to ride. You don't want to fall. And I don't know how people race it these days. I've seen some of the shots lately of people coming down this stuff, and it's insane. Anka Martin. David Kay. Quentin. Q. Mr. KHS. I don't know what Q's up to anymore. I've been out of touch. I should probably give him a shout. And Phil Tinsman. This shot I posted, yeah, this morning, I think. Let me check to my Instagram. I'm pretty sure maybe it was yesterday. I don't remember all the time. One day ago. I guess I posted it a while ago. Corey LeClaire on the North Shore. And I made a comment in my post, like when it snowed on the shore, if you wanted to ride, you rode in the snow. A lot of bridges and all. So this is Boogeyman on the North Shore, I believe. I don't think that bridge is there anymore. Chris Donahue, Richmond Skate Park, toboggan over the spine. Always stoked on this shot. The light, the color, the trees, the way everything looked. Same shot, different angle. This is looking into the sun. Horizontal shot. Little Abubakar on Jersey barrier at the edge of the park. And a nose pick. And I really like this shot. I like the little girl sitting there on her scooter. This is Brookswood. So Michael, if you're there, this is right by your house, I think. Brookswood Skate Park. And then this is, it says 801 Trails. I don't know where that is. Langley, Surrey, somewhere. One of the sets of trails that was out there. But Jeff Gullovich, my first ever shot of Jeff Gullovich. I'm pretty sure. And he doesn't look very old there. I don't 2002. How old was Gully? Wearing his Hoot Skier shorts and everything. Hoot stickers, sneakers. Yeah. And then we start getting into my work for Idun. And this is Dylan Tremblay. I put a link in the last episode to Dylan's stuff, or to his YouTube channel. And this is Dylan. Dylan is, well, was an insane street rider, a very great technical rider. And he just rode up this tree and then rode back down. Little wall ride, Dylan again. And this one, which is a bunny hop to little nose bonk over the stair gap. So coming from up top here, I think. I'm pretty sure he didn't bunny hop from the ground to there. I'm pretty sure he came off up here. Tapped that and came down. Dylan, if you're out there, hey, what's up? Jordy Lunn. That same trip with Dylan, I hooked up with Jordy Lunn and shot this little drop with him. I think it's up by the golf course, I think, in Parksville. Can't quite remember. Jordy and Dharma Joe. Whatever's happened to Dharma, I don't know. And then go-kart track. I'm not sure if this was in Nanaimo maybe, but a little fence ride from Dylan. And then we get into some race shots. This was my first ever Norba that I shot. And first time going to California to shoot. And went down for Norba number 1, which was at Snow Summit, Big Bear. And this is Colin Bailey. Colin used to race for Maxis. Termite Hudson. If any of you run profile stuff, Termite is, or has been, your man at profile for years. And yeah, this is Termite racing slalom in 2002. Kurt Voorhees leading out Wade Boots in the back there in slalom. And shot of Kurt and Mike King. Shams March. And I just realized this when I was looking at this, when I scanned it. I love this shot, but his tire doesn't look right, and it's because there's this post that comes up, one of the posts for the flagging, and somehow I managed to get it dead center on his tire. And I didn't notice right away, but now it kind of kills the shot for me. But yeah. And back when people didn't run visors, I guess. Sabrina Janier coming over from Europe to race the Norba series. Leslie Tomlinson. Leslie, if you're out there, I got to send you these. I'm going to wait till I have a few extra and I'll put together a folder for you. A couple shots of Leslie. And then we go to Toronto, and this is Roundhouse Rumble, a event that Ryan Seneschal put together, and I'm not sure if it was all him. Mike Gooch, Mike Hedford, Toronto kids. They, you know, they like to ride street and do a bunch of stuff, so they put on the street contest. Ryan organized it, pretty sure. But this is Aaron Chase running the lefty and doing a downside foot plant underneath the CN tower there. Epic location. I tried to get the CN tower in there. It looked like he's almost tapping it with his front tire. But this is the first time I met Aaron, was at this contest. Somebody else with a camera over there too. Not sure who that is. Is that Ian Miller? Looks like it might be Ian Miller. Anyways, Aaron Chase. Chris Donahue over wooden box jump with a 360. And oh, having this issue again as well. Looks like Lightroom is not happy. Oh, looks like my hard drive disappeared. Now I know what the problem is. Actually, I don't know if the drive is the problem or if it's my connection to the drive. We'll wait and see if this thing reconnects. So, yeah, don't really have a whole lot to say while this is, well, I'm trying to see if I can, there we go, hard drive is back. I guess I need to troubleshoot that and see if it's actually a hard drive issue or if it is the connection, either the cable or the actual connection on my hard drive. Let's try and go back to come on. There's bridge. Maybe my hard drive is back. All right, well, I'm going to okay, that's promising. Promising stuff. Looking into scans folder here and seeing what's going on. Looks like it's starting up. All right, we're back. Where was I? Chris Donahue. Let's keep going. Chris, 360, box jump, Roundhouse Rumble, Toronto, 2002. Jeff Lenoski. Also the first time I met Jeff Lenoski, up from New Jersey to come up to Toronto for this event. And yeah, and then, I don't know, Mike Gooch down here in the corner. I'm not sure who that is behind him. But again, under the CN Tower. And then this is Ryan Seneschal. He organized this event. This is afterwards. We went out and rode some street stuff in Toronto. And this is a little urban bank to wall. I mentioned last week that I kind of wish I had shot this so you could see the grass bank that he rode up to bunny hop onto this wall instead of just seeing it over the car. I like it over the car because it's kind of like you wonder where he's coming from, but it was a pretty big hop, so it would have also been cool to see actually what he did. And then this shot that we talked about a couple weeks ago, that is it doesn't like it when I try and let me go back to bridge here. get weird focus issues where I can't click on things. I'm going to go to Bridge and go to okay, I don't have it. It's on my server, which is currently not connected due to some more technical issues. Again, I need more drive space. But I had a picture of this hanging, this photo that Marzocchi used for the ad. I had a picture of it hanging over the Marzocchi booth at Interbike. So if you were here last week, or I think in the first week, we kind of looked at that photo and talked about it a little bit. This is the actual photo, Planet Hollywood. And same shoot, Chris Donahue, curved wall ride. This was in, I want to say it was maybe in LaunchMTB magazine, and I think it might have also been in a magazine in Europe. And then, where is this? I don't remember where this is. It's in Toronto, but it's the it's a set of banks in Toronto. Gardner Banks in Toronto. It's probably off the, if you're familiar with Toronto, I'm guessing this is off the Gardner Expressway. Chris, just boosting up. Yeah, up over the hip. And then that's it for the photos from there. There's one here I didn't get to. There's this shot of Ryan Leech that down here in the corner. I don't know if you can see. Whoops. Still haven't scanned this one yet. I will scan it tonight and try and get it in there. I got to figure out if scanning will actually work, if I can do it while I'm live. I think I can. Pretty sure I can. But then we go into the stuff that I pulled last week. After scanning this stuff, I went and pulled a bunch more sheets of photos to scan. So let's go through those, shall we? All right, we're here. And there's some good ones. There's a lot of street stuff. Now that we're getting into the, if you remember, I shot that Idun stuff that I shot with Dylan Tremblay that was in here. And, oh, I don't want that over there. Let me put that over there. With Dylan Tremblay, some Idun stuff. And now we're going to get into some more stuff and some more street as well. So, Preston Blackie with a bar spin and a table off of a curb. And Jesse Roberts. Don't know if you know Jesse, any of you, but this is Jesse with a Fufanu on a container at a little industrial park area. And then this shot I love. This is Darren Berrecloth. And we can actually, I don't know if we can read that. No, yeah, we can. This was for Launch Magazine. And this was the first mountain bike shot, really, that I took of Darren, I think. And the reason that he had this bike, which is the one he was riding on the cover shot of Bike Magazine. And this bike was given to Launch Magazine by Norco to do a review on. And Jeremy had me go and shoot photos with Darren with it, and I hooked up with Darren. And this is off of the roof of a side building, one of the rec centers. And people were doing roof drops on mountain bikes, drop off the roof, land on a bank, hold on, hope you don't blow off the bars, because it was usually not steep enough. Superheroes were doing some big stuff on their bikes. Looked at some of those photos last week. If we go back to, let's quickly go back to last week, and we can look at some of these photos, like this one here of Brian O and this one of Brian O. So people were definitely dropping off of things. So this is Darren on a hardtail dropping, which is fine, but he took it and did something else. He did it one time and said, that's flat, it hurts, but I'm gonna do it one more time and I'm gonna do a table. Make sure you get it. And a little bit of pressure. Maybe not the best angle for a table, but it looks pretty flat from here. He's like square to the camera. And this is the first time I know of that anybody actually did a trick off of a roof drop. And this ended up in Launch Magazine. That's who I shot it for. And the next one, this is Chris with a tree ride somewhere in Vancouver. Then another angle of the same thing. And then we're ending up at Joyride Biker Cross. So this one, this is Ryan Leech, side hop. Ryan and Jeff, I think both bunny hop and or side hop were fighting it out for a bit for the record. And I know they were getting up around 4 feet for the bar, which is crazy high when you think about it. And then we got Brian Lopes, Cedric Gracia. This is the Joyride Biker Cross at the Joyride Mountain Bike Festival, or the Whistler Mountain Bike Festival. This is before it became Crankworks. This is the second year. So in 2001, Patty Kay and Chris Winter got together and started this little bike event. And they had a race down A-Line, and they had the Biker Cross and a few other events. And year 2, that was this year, was 2002, was fairly successful, drew a good crowd and a good number of spectators. And this is Brian Lopes and Cedric racing it out for the podium. And then we've got, looks like Lopes and Shams and Petey and Cedric talking afterwards. Beautiful shot of Anne Carolyn. I never really talked to her. I never really got to know her, but amazing racer, and I love this portrait. Random shots. This is Anne Caroline racing downhill. And then Scott Beaumont, Cedric Gracia, posted these today to my stories. And then that same event, the Glacier Shop sponsored a jump comp. And the Glacier Shop Super Hit comp, it's called. And this is Darren Berrecloth with a Super Indian, or Indian Air Seat Grab, Super Indian Seat Grab, I guess, I don't know what you call it. And then a no-foot can. Sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing these. I'm gonna look not through the camera. And then this shot, which was actually used as a portrait from a different shot on my very first ad with Darren. Timo, I know Timo's been here a couple times and watching, checking things out. He commented in the last one. Here's a awesome no-foot can shot of Timo from the Joyride, the Glacier Shop Super Hit. Kyle Strait, the Superman Seat Grab, and a nice portrait shot of Kyle. Kyle, how old were you then? 2002. 15, maybe? Trying to think. And then Kyle's bike, which is pretty cool. It's a definitely a little different than the bikes of today. And we get in there, you can see this is a It says Chaotic on it. Chaotic Kyle. Kyle's nickname back then. That beautiful leopard SDG seat. Look at that stem. This is going to be a cool one to actually scan and look at in a little more detail. I don't know what bike that was. Hang on, I'm just going to take a quick look here and well, it looks like it's a 2.4, 2.4 bikes, and yeah, looks like the clear Atom Lab pedals too. Anyways, I'll take a closer look at that when I scan it. Yeah, 2.4. That's done. Is that all I did? That needs to be scanned. That one needs to be scanned. And all right, so that's it for what I pulled. So what I'm going to do now is start going through and filling up another sheet as I go through albums, which albums look like this. Mountain Bike 2002, album number 3. I think there's 4 or 5 for 2002. So as I go through these, it's all slides and slide sheets. And some of them are marked, some of them are not. And this one, I've gotten through to, I think, about, I don't know, maybe page somewhere around here. Where's that's where those shots of Kyle came from. So here, this is the first page that we haven't looked at yet. So I'm just gonna start flipping through those, and we'll see what's going on. Blank sheet here. Okay. So this one starts with Corey Durpak and a couple shots of Corey. Again, Glacier Hit Super. Glacier Shop Super Hit. The judges. Who is this kid? I don't know who this kid is. Anybody recognize that guy? I don't know who that is. 2002. He's got a holding on to one of the judging clipboards. Anyways, judges. Beautiful shots of a bunch of the girls here. Looks like Danica and Kelly and what was her name? The Kiwi girl, Watanabe. I can't remember her name. Anyways, Sylvie. Another beautiful shot. Come on, zoom out. There we go. I'm going to zoom out for a little bit on these. Well, there we go. We got that shot of Kelly, and then we go through to, these are from World Cup at Grouse. So we're going back through to that same jump that I've shot so many times. And, well, so many times. 2 years. It's only 2 years that I shot it. This is all Chris. X up. no-hander, table, table. And then this one, I really like this shot. This is, does that work? Can you, no, that doesn't work. That just kills the focus. This is a shot that I'm actually going to scan. And one thing I'm going to need to do, this is page 15. I want to know where this came from. So when I scan it, this is album 2, page 15. So now, when I scan things, I put down the album and page number. So I know where they came from, and I know where to put them back later. And if I need to find something from the same kind of time frame, I know where to find it. That's Sato Taniguchi, I believe his name was. Sato, he was another Vancouver kid, shot with a few times. And then we got some shots of Darren. I like this table shot. I'm going to scan this one for sure. This is 023, page 16. So that one's coming out. .360s. Didn't get those framed up the way I wanted. Darren's 3s. I actually really like this one. It's almost a 3 table, which was pretty crazy. If it had been a 3 table, like a click 3 table, wow. And then more variations of that. I think that's actually a sequence of that table. Superman seat grab, getting more extension. And then this one, this is another sequence to here. Super Indian. Look how far spread his legs are getting. I've scanned that before, but I'm going to get a better quality scan of it. And then this one, which looks a lot like the cover shot. The cover shot is actually this one that is missing. And the cover is, looks a little more like that, but it's got flash. This one has got flash, it's not quite as stretched out. That one's still missing. I don't know where it is. No foot can. And then this is Evan Holmgren. The no foot can. Another one. And then that's it for grouse that year. I went and continued shooting Idun stuff. I didn't really have any reason to shoot the racing. So I'm going to get this shot of Ryan scanned. This is Ryan Leech. Ryan rode for Idun for a bit, and this is something I shot for them. More shots of Ryan, and then Chris Donahue. It's a lot of these sequences and just different compositions. And now when I look at these, I wish I'd gone, you know, I was starting to go further out, but pull back a little. I wish I had pulled back even further on some of these. That's Sato. This is a little wall ride. This is more Idun stuff. Nice shot of Sato. And this one of Chris I want to scan. That's a definitely a keeper. Whoops, we're not 16, we're 17. Change pages. All right, so now this, you see what's happening here is this page is slowly filling up with photos that are going to get scanned. So there's some more shots of that same wall ride. I also really like this shot of Chris. And see, this one I know I like because I actually already put the page number on it a while ago when I was going through these. And then this one, which is in a kid's playground, and it's a little abubaka at the top of a slide. That one I like. That's Chris Donahue again. And then I really like this one. Same slide, Chris. I love the little sun flare on there. Looks cool. Scan that one. And then for a better perspective on what he's doing, there's a shot of Tony, Milkman, filming Chris. And I realized all of this stuff is probably in maybe the Idun monkey style video. I think that's what it was. I might even have it right here. I haven't watched it and I forget what was on it. I've watched it. I haven't watched it lately. Monkey Style 2. This thing. Monkey Style 2. I don't know if anybody of you've seen that before, but Monkey Style 2 featuring Ryan Leech, Dylan Tremblay, Chris Donahue, Nigel Corliss, Julian Munier. Street. No full suspension bikes, no 9 inches of travel, all hardtail bikes, athletic ability, and a ton of style. And yeah, a bunch of photos in the back. So I might have to watch this again soon and maybe pull some clips from it for the show. We can go through some clips too. Bunch of jersey barrier shots of Chris. I'm not super stoked on any of those. They're cool shots, but they're not something that I really want. So we'll go back to here. And here's some stuff I really like. There's some more of the jersey barrier stuff. Sato. I kind of like this one actually. That's at BC Place, the bank's there. It's just it's a nose pick on a jersey barrier, but kind of like that one. I really like this one. I'll definitely scan this one. This is at the CBC building in Vancouver. And there's a walkway on the other side that goes up the stairs, and Chris is doing an abubaka on the wall right above the sidewalk. I just like the kind of the juxtaposition of it. So I'm going to take that one. There's a bunch of other shots of him. He's actually doing an X-up in one of them too. Right there. Which is great, but I like the angle from the street with the people. And then these, but they didn't work out because the bush got in the way. So a couple little stairwell shots here. I'm going to take this one. So the history of this is I was shooting 2000, this is 2002, 2003. I was shooting with Chris Donahue a lot, as you can see here, and then through Idun a lot more. And then in 2003, the next year, he was riding, I haven't looked on these shots. I should look and see. Does anybody know, Chris, were you riding for MRP? I don't see a good shot, drivetrain shot. They're all non-drive side shots, but I have a feeling Chris started riding for MRP in 2003. And when Chris started riding for MRP, he needed a photo for them for an MRP ad, which was being produced by my good friend Eric Davies. Trying a whole bunch of different stuff here, multiple exposures, long exposures, kind of ghosty stuff. Just ended up looking blurry, which is unfortunate because this is a really cool bunny hop over a garbage can. And then wall ride, I shot this wall a bunch of times with Chris and I think Nigel. There's better shots later. And then this Abubakar, bunny hop Abubakar on a garbage can. And looking at them, I really like this shot. That's Tony with his hands up holding the camera, but I actually like this one better. And Tony's down on the ground there, so I'm going to scan that one. And we'll go through and look at these again a little closer in a bit when I scan them. And then wall rides. One of these was used by Atom Lab. I think Chris was running Atom Lab gear back then. Was that the one I wanted? Sometimes there's more than one here. I think it's another one. I'm trying to figure out which of these I want. No, I want that one. That one's good. Page 20. Uh-oh, where'd my marker go? There it is. Wait, is this book 3? What's book 3? Oh, 3. I hope I haven't been putting 2 on these. Oh, 3. 20. And this one, and go there. And then this one, this is the one that was used for an Atom Lab ad. So we'll pull that one out. Quickly go through. There's a lot of different versions and variations, and you know, trying to go through. Those ones have the flash in it, and it's just some of the angles I don't like. Moving, just trying not to get run over by Chris. And then some shots of Darren Berrecloth. Dirt jumping in the woods, dark. They're a little blurry in the dark. This one I like. This Superman seat grab. It's a little blurry, but I like that. This one I think was actually in Launch magazine. But I'm going to scan this one. And then this Abubakar shot of Chris. This was in Kerrisdale. Little concrete wall at the top of a grass bank. Nothing big, nothing crazy, just kind of, you know, it's what we did, what they did, playing on their bikes on the street. I tried. I never managed to quite get to that same level, but that's why I was running around with the camera instead of, you know, instead of riding bikes. A couple more. Vancouver Art Gallery. There's a little ledge, and I just, these shots are great. He's up on this, Chris bunny hopped up onto this ledge, but you can't really see it. I'm really bummed actually that they didn't turn out better. And the same with this one. I didn't get the ground in there, and it would have looked a lot higher if I'd been a lot lower. And then we went to Kamloops. This is Dustin Adams. Dustin owns an awesome bike company now in BC, making Canadian-made wheels and bikes and stuff. Awesome stuff. That's Kyle Prosnick. I haven't talked to Kyle in years and years and years, but, and Kurt Doyle. We got some, this, right there's Kurt Doyle. And then I'm going to scan this shot of Dustin, just because. Dustin, I'm going to send that to you if you're out there. You can see it. more Dustin. And then I went to Victoria. So that was Kamloops, and then the next thing here is Victoria with, actually Nanaimo, sorry. Nanaimo with Darren. And this is a school. He found a school where he could gap over this fence and land on the bank. And same thing, he was riding that hardtail, which was great, but it's, as in his words, it was a little flat. It was not a great landing. Canada Summer Games were in Nanaimo that year, and they built a big sign at the Nanaimo sign that said BC, or no, sorry, Canada Games. I think it was Canada Games, maybe it was BC Games, I'm pretty sure it was Canada. Maybe it was BC Games. I don't remember. What I do remember is that we went and Darren used the sign as a landing for the gap off the sign. So, can you scan that one? Oh, we're going through this stuff pretty quick. Bunch of just random shots of Darren, 360s at his jumps, one-handed table. These ones. It's tail whip. And then a bunch of lee side shots back in the old days of lee side. Actually, I like that tail whip shot. Let's scan that. Go through here. He's doing foot plants on the wall at lee side here. I don't know if you can see that. Foot plant. I'm going to scan that one. And look at that. We already filled up the page. There's a full page there now of shots. Hang on a sec. I got to grab another empty slide sheet. So I'm going to stick that up here with stuff to scan. And we're going to go to the next page. This is a lot of what we're going to be doing for a bit with film. I got to stop and go through some other stuff too, quickly. But this is really the gist of what I'm doing. So hang out. This is, there's this hitching post rail at lee side on this box, and Darren got up on it. Fufanu. Probably should scan that one. I like that shot. What page is this? 24. Page 24. Getting into new territory here. Page 24. This is 3, 24. What's that one? Oh, that's what happened. There we go. Darren. Great shot of Darren. And then we've got a Canadian National Championships at Sun Peak. And, you know, there's a couple shots in here that I like, but a lot of these aren't great. Wade Simmons, we got Wade there. Gaber, we got Gabe from the Cove. At the time, he was a little bit of twisted the camera a little bit there. It's actually not quite that steep, but it's there. My old friend Andre Charland. And Hugo Donahue. Bunch of people. Craig Lunn. Hugo, I bought a phone from Hugo at one point. Used to talk to him occasionally, but yeah, haven't talked to him in forever. More race shots. Mike Jones. Mike may have been Canadian National champ at that time, I'm not sure. Brent Lyon, Rob Hewitt. We got Claire here. Claire? But not a great shot. I needed to pull back and put her a little bit more towards the center. She's riding that Belfa. Yeah. And then that was over. And there's a couple of skate park shots of Chris Donahue, one-handed Abubakars. And then we go out to Hemlock. And this shot of Janelle. It's the start of Hemlock Valley 4-cross. And so I don't know who this is. I love this shot. Somebody crashed and came out of their crash looking like this. The bike's still moving, they're still moving, but it was just this little curtsy to the bike on the ground. I wish I knew who it was. And then Corey Leclerc, foot out, flat out, through the flat corner. Dust spraying up. And then a few more shots there. Uh-oh. Battery feels like it's dying. Camera battery feels like it's dying. Nothing in there I need. So that's it for That's it for 2002-3, and now we're going to move on to 2002-4. And I got some messages here. Robin, I appeared magically for the Cross World Cup jump photos. Yes, of course you do. Yeah. It's Sato Taniguchi. I'm just reading through comments here real quick. I'm pretty sure that's what isn't that what I have there? Yeah, they'll be there. Yeah, you should, Robin. You should go check out that CBC thing. And Lee side is. Yeah, Hugo was an incredible rider. He was fast and yeah, did well. All right, I'm gonna go pull out book four, which I've already pulled out to make it easy. It doesn't even have a name on it. I'm assuming it's 4. Yep, we're continuing on with Hemlock Valley. I'm going to go through this stuff really quick because I don't think there's much in here. This is a bunch of 4-cross stuff. L box. Actually, I really like these shots. Al leading, looks like Corey behind him. Mayhem in these corners. All the roost coming off, just drifting into these flat corners. And it didn't always go so well. Corey went down. And I mean, this is the men's consolation final. Corey not looking too great. Women's final. Definitely Danica and Janelle battling it out. I don't have the men's final for whatever reason. And then Preston. Little street Abubakar. All this trialsy stuff. Oh, and Chris there too. I don't remember where this was. This was in Kitsilano somewhere, I think. Wasn't very high. And back to this bank again. I showed you a shot at this bank earlier. There's a couple of this one that I actually really like, especially this one. Hang on, I got to get these on the loop. And Preston. Chris up in the... This one. This is the one right here. Chris with the wall ride to table. So that one is, all right, this is page 1. And this is going to be 0341. Image number 1 from album 4. I'd love to go through some of this stuff a little bit slower and talk about it, but there's so much of it. This is Penticton. No. Pemberton. This is Pemberton. Sorry, I can't read. Geordie Lunn. And Geordie shots need to be shot or scanned pretty much just because it's George. This one, table, Geordie, beautiful shot. I'm going to call that 2. This becomes 0342. And these next ones too. I don't know if you can see those there. I really like those ones too. So, fisheye looking up. I was never really into shooting up and distorting things that much, but sometimes it makes for an impressive shot. Oh, and these ones are Gareth. Oh, this is Gareth Dyer. So this is a little film trip we did. And yeah. Now we're starting to get into some really interesting stuff here. This is, that's Gareth. And Geordie and Gareth. And then they're, it's not big enough for them to both be in the air at the same time. And this shot of Geordie, I should have pulled out a little bit further on this shot. This is, I love this photo, but I wish I'd had a little more vertical below him. Geordie, both those shots are pretty awesome. But I think this is pretty much a vertical wall that Geordie's riding down here. You can see the bank up here where this little tree is growing. And then he just carved off and went straight down this bank. And it's probably another, it's not a long ways further. It's another bike length though, probably. Would have been nice to get a little more space below him. For some reason, I used to love shooting way too tight. Yeah, sorry, a little pause. This was, and then so, well, we're going to go up to these shots, which was, I can't remember the name of this film project that we were working on with Jeremy Hoy, I believe. And it was Geordie Lunn, Gareth Dyer, and Brandon Ferguson. And we took this booter that someone had built, and I can't remember who built it. It had been built, it fit in the back of the pickup truck, and we set it up on the side of the road by this gap, and yeah, shot this stuff. Gareth, Geordie jumping over him. Gareth on the ground there. My camera's not charging. I'm gonna try plugging this. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna try plugging this other cable in See if it makes weird noises and does weird things. Shouldn't. Oh. Yep, it does. Okay, well, I'm going to switch back here while I figure this out. I'm hoping my camera will charge. It should be charging through the other, but we're going to come down here. Because if my camera battery dies, it should be getting power over HDMI. I don't know why it's not, but for whatever reason it's not. And hopefully now it'll get power from... Cannot connect to the camera. Okay, well... Okay, well, it doesn't like me for whatever reason, so you may have to switch batteries here. I'm going back to looking at it, but it's fairly soon this battery is going to die and we'll have to do something different. All right, let's switch back to where we were. So I'm gonna have to look through these a little more closely. That's Brandon, Gareth Dyer, and this was up near Cache Creek. Cache Creek, up a little bit towards the interior of BC. And I got to figure out which of these. There's a lot of these photos. I'm not sure which ones exactly I'm going to want. I used to know them fairly well, but not anymore. Oh, some of them are marked with X's, so we should be good. Gareth. There's a shot of Gareth. So, funny story through these ones. Let me put this away. Cache Creek, 100 Mile House, all that area, Fraser Valley, up towards Williams Lake. It's kind of deserty, and there's a lot of cactus. And Brandon crashed and landed in a cactus, which, yeah, that kind of sucked. And as he'd go to try and pull these cactus off of himself, cacti, I guess, or these little pieces of it, he kept getting it stuck in his fingers. So there's the crew. Well, he's pulling cactus out of himself. Brandon, Gareth, and Jordy. Random shot of Gareth. But this one's already got yeah, this is a nice table. You can see there's dust and dirt on that, but that's the one that I'm gonna shoot. Which page is this? This is 3. Don't let me forget to mark this page. Page 3. And then this is 243. 243. 243 was Eric Fox's company, .243, making bikes and bars and stems and stuff. How many people remember .243? Anybody? So right after that, we went up and went to shoot some crank stuff in Spence's Bridge. And Darren, this was his first crank shoot. Darren knew how to operate a little skid steer, Bobcat. So he ended up building some stuff at the bottom down there. This is Kranked 5, it says, if I look at that. Kranked 5. Yeah. So it was Darren, and then Tyler Klassen, Super T. Sitting there, beer in one hand, watering can in the other. This was a good trip. This is a really fun filming trip. I love this shot of Tyler. He just fell in the water jug drinking the beer. Enough. Classic. I love that. Those will have to get scanned at some point. They're not high on my priority list right now. Dangerous Dan, Chris, Tyler, Chris. What was the Chris that was there? Is that Chris Glue? Might be Chris Glue. Tyler and Bjorn in the green shirt there. You can't really see Bjorn's face. Darren. Lots of pictures of Darren digging. The crew. Oh, I think Dan and Chris came up because I think they had the, maybe they had the Bobcat. I can't remember. I might have to get in touch with the boys and see if they can jog my memory about what happened. And then Darren, that's actually kind of a cool shot. I've never even seen that before. Well, I have, but I'm not sure what it is. Darren crashed, got a little dirty. And then Tyler on the jump at the bottom. Tyler could hit the biggest things and was always solid, but his style always looked a little interesting. Not really the dirt jump style that, you know, smooth and stylish this guy's had. And this is the stuff we went to shoot. These shoots. Darren had never ridden anything like this and just dropped right in. This is Tyler dropping first down this chute. Classic, I'd say big mountain free ride stuff, but wasn't really big mountain. And then if you look at this sheet here, we're missing a bunch of stuff. And there's actually a whole sequence in here that I really liked that like normal got sent somewhere and I don't know where it went. Too much of that happening. This one, yeah, Darren. I like how you can see Darren right here coming down this chute through the tree. That's a beauty shot. And then gone. Nothing but a cloud of dust. This one's a favorite of mine. It's a wall ride. That little yellow bush, yeah, made the whole thing. All right, my camera says it's dead, and I gotta go see if I can find another battery here real quick. This is page 5. Grab this one too. It's cool. I shot a lot of the early Crank stuff. Pretty stoked about that. Are any of these shots of Tyler? I feel like I missed the 1 or 2 shots that I wanted to get there. Page 5. And page 6. A couple more. This one. And that's it. That battery is done. So, battery's done. I think the next thing I'm going to do here is, well, it's 8:45. We've been over an hour. So, yeah, I'm going to actually go have some food and do a couple other things, and then come back and charge my battery and start scanning some stuff. So, cheers. And catch up on these messages. And yeah. Drop in. Dylan did a lot of stuff on Drop In too, I believe. I gotta go and check back into that. See if we can find some old issues of Drop In. I never went out with the Drop In crew, but yeah. Let's take a quick minute and go to what we're doing here, which was my original collection of images for trying to pick something for slideshows and books and gallery shows. So let's go through these again real quick. Jeff Lanowski, and this is Jeff bar spinning over a roof gap. I love this shot. It was the cover of one of Don Hampton's films, and definitely going to include this one, as well as this shot of Jeff too. This sequence was a Fox ad, and I'm pretty stoked with it. Slideshow, don't have room for this. Book, definitely, I love this. I don't even remember, this is in Santa Barbara, I think, in a hotel parking lot. And this is Aaron Chase and Kurt Voorhees skipping rope, doubles. And I don't have any recollection how this came about, but it just came about, and it's pretty awesome. Eric Porter, definitely need to include this one. This is the Eric shot. I think this is the one that was on the cover of Modest Bike. This is Green River, Utah. Before there were dirt highways everywhere, before it was paved. This is up, you can see how it was beautiful. This is right after Sea Otter in, I want to say 2004 maybe? I don't even know. Does it say? 2005. So this was 2005, right after Sea Otter. We went out, Greg Watts, Eric Porter, Cam McCall, Aaron Lutzy. And Robin just made a comment. Sean Denny, yes. I never shot with Sean. I never shot with Sean Denny. I wish I had. So many awesome times on the Drop In show. And he was one of those guys that I really wish I'd had a chance to shoot with. There's a bunch of really good shots from this shoot that I need to scan with this one of Porter here. Different trip. The shot needs to go in there. Voorhees, Vanderham, and McCall. That needs to go in book and in show, along with this one. Probably put them in small. Maybe for the gallery show, I'll put these in really small. And we were looking for anything in here. And if you look at this picture and you look at the background, it looks incredible. like there's going to be things to ride everywhere, but the dirt was really hard and unrideable. This is in Arizona. And you look at this riverbed down here and you're like, wow, there's so much stuff. But we dug and tried and we couldn't actually find anything to ride. Barcelona with, you got Cam McCall, Carter Holland, Dave Smutok, and Jim DeChamp there in front of Gaudi's, I'm going to say his most famous piece, La Sagrada Familia. April Lawyer, love this shot. Sea Otter when they had an alligator pit in the middle of the slalom course. And I think now the slalom's actually over. Is this the same hill? I can't remember. It's got to be the same hill that we have now. But they built a water pit. Kurt at Kurt's house doing Kurt things. I have shots of Kurt and I think Smutok breaking these 2x4s. There, Smutok breaking a 2x4 mid-break. I have the exact same shot of Kurt breaking the other one too. Or maybe we replaced one and he broke it. Not the strongest way to make a sub rail. One of the first deity photos, this is 2004, Lars Travis at Sea Otter in the slalom, wearing his suit, doing well with that white deity handlebar and stem on there. Beautiful stuff. So this was 2004 Sea Otter when Deity actually launched, which is coming up 20 years in a couple months. Sea Otter this year is going to be the 20-year anniversary, so hopefully see you all there. Aaron Chase, 2004, I think. 2003. Simi Valley Ditch. Fufanu for Fox. Aaron Chase in Valencia. This ended up in Modest Bike, and a whole bunch of people complained that he wasn't wearing a helmet, even back 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Aaron Chase, tree ride to table. This is in Santa Barbara at the university campus. This tree's gone. Specialized POV stuff. Specialized Lindsay Richter. Lindsay Voorhees at the time. One of my models for a Specialized shoot. We did a whole transition thing with, and actually went and poached a triathlon transition area before the triathlon happened and shot some photos. So this is, I think, New Hampshire, another tree ride to table for Chase. Eric Porter, Seawall. This was an Outside magazine. This is a Seawall in, I think it's actually in Rye, right outside of Rye, when we were there for the Rye Airfield Comp. And I love this. If you get in close enough, I mean, he's tucked up so far his foot's actually hitting the top of the seawall. That definitely needs to go somewhere in a slideshow in my Porter collection. I also really like that one from Vancouver. This one of Chase. I have this one. It's actually right up there on the wall behind me. I don't know if you can see it blown up. So I'll probably include that one in a show because I have it. Porter, Foot Jam Nose Pick, Vancouver. Jeff Lanoski. This is my remote camera shooting on a tripod because I'm pretty sure this is me lying on the ground here shooting a super wide angle shot of Jeff gapping from here to this little ledge that's at like 45 degrees. This shot turned out better, but it's behind the scenes. It's got TR in it. He's on his skateboard, feet up. He basically started here, followed Jeff in, pushed off, and yeah, probably seen the shot in the New World Disorder film. Another behind the scenes shot. This one, when I was shooting New World Disorder stuff, flash was one of those things, and Kranked, he's like, you didn't use flash filming. You know, respect the film, don't use flash. But this spot, it was impossible not to. It was either use some flash and risk getting a single frame of flash in the footage, because they're shooting, I don't remember where they were shooting, Bolex, or maybe an Arri, but 16 frames a second, 24 frames a second, I can't remember. But with a flash going off for, you know, 1,000th of a second, the odds of the flash, maybe a 500th at the most, the odds of the flash, I don't know what the odds are actually, somebody can figure that out, actually showing up in a frame aren't incredibly high. It happens sometimes and people get pissed off, editors, filmers would get pissed off because there'd be suddenly like their whole frame would just flash. Not just the rider lit up sometimes. Depends what the flash was and how bright it was. But this one needed flash. And if you look in, that's Axel on the cable cam there. Blurry. And without flash, this shot of Darren would have looked just like this. Super dark. It almost looks like he's got a light on the camera. I think that's just light through the trees, but I'm not sure. But it was dark. This is Fuji Provia 400 push 2 stops to 1600. And it was probably shot at a 30th of a second at 2.8. It was dark. Gravel pit, Darren 360. This one ran in Bike Mag. This one, the sequence, I think ran as a Decynad. This was a Specialized poster. This is the gravel pit by his house at the time. The sun never really came out. I was kind of bummed about that when we shot these. Dave Smutok on my House of Blood X-Pan at Red Bull Bike Battle. And I wasn't, we discussed before, if you were listening before, I wasn't judging. Sorry, I wasn't filming, I wasn't shooting, I was judging. These guys were photographing. But that's Dave. Huh. Over in Europe, Kyle Strait, Ride to the Lake, Germany. And this one's actually digital, so this has got information. This is, although I don't know if this photo is, 2004, September 25th. And now, when things go digital, all of a sudden I've got all the info. 2004, September 25th, Ride to the Lake. And I don't know what info is actually in the file here. It just says Ride to the Lake. It doesn't say anything else. Okay. Ride to the Lake Saturday. Where are we at? I got a bunch of shots from there too, and some really good party shots from that event. That's the event George Ryan crashed and ended up covered in road rash. Some good shots of that. I don't have them. They're on my server, which is not connected right now as I'm trying to figure out the whole storage thing. Red Bull was pretty stoked on this one. This drop shot of Kyle. Big old table off the drop into the city. Well, not into the city, I guess, into the streets below. Kurt Voorhees portrait. Wade Simmons in Costa Rica. Wade Simmons, Dave Watson, Costa Rica. Chris Winter and Gabe, Costa Rica. I don't know who that is. Another shot from Costa Rica. Vanderham checking out a cow in Costa Rica. Gabe Fox. Gabe used to be, actually I shouldn't say used to be, Gabe was and might still be a pretty incredible rider, if any of you know Gabe. Gabe was Stevie Smith's manager and then managed the Da Vinci team and a bunch of other teams, Evil, over the years. Grew up working at the Cove Bike Shop. Another shot of Gabe. This is a rut. This is literally a rain rut in Costa Rica that got so big it was overhead. Crazy. So much fun to ride. So fast. So dark too. No light got into it. Playing a little bit of kickball with a kid in Costa Rica. Carter Holland. So this goes back to that same trip where I've got that black and white of people sitting in front of La Sagrada Familia. This is Marseille, I think. Does it say? Skate park? Yeah. So this is a skate park in Marseille, in France. And, whoa, back to that one. I'm trying to do that. And somewhere there's a slightly better shot version of this, and I don't know where it is, but I'll find it. It was in Bike Magazine. It might actually be this one. Carter shot through the poles. And then we went and found this playground. This is a playground, and these are both slides here that come out of this playground. They come in, you get in up top and slide out, and Carter decided it was going to be a perfect little pocket wall ride, and he managed to make it work. Really impressive. Dave Smutok in Spain. More Dave Smutok in Spain. There was our crew. Carter, Smutok, McCall, Champ, Aaron Lutzy. Shout out to Aaron Lutzy out there in Portland. Aaron, we got to hang out. I got to come visit. It's been too long. Anyways, there's a lot of photos. And as we go through all these, I got to figure out which ones to include and which ones not to include. In a show, and if you go through all these photos and you look through all of these, and there's a lot of them here, these, I mean, McCall, Voorhees, this is a decline cover. Love this shot of Kurt. This shot, Jeff, Aaron, and Kurt, Santa Barbara on the beach. Shot on my 645. These shots of Porter in the pipe. Fashion shots of April with her bike in the truck from Maxis. All this stuff and little things that we got to go through. 2006 Mont Saint Anne Jump Jam. Cam McCall with a dump 3. And if you look down, you can see so many athletes down here in the crowd watching. And that's Minar and Dave, and it looks like maybe, is that Rando? I don't know who else. It's just so many people down there. It's like, where's Waldo? Trying to figure out who all these people are. Yeah, and little funny thing with this one, when I shot this, I left, packed up, and this flash down here, I forgot it. And I was actually up on the roof of one of the buildings shooting down, and ran back down and packed everything up and forgot that flash. Luckily, I got it back. But what I was going to say, as we go through all this stuff, there's a lot of stuff here to go through. There's a lot of amazing photos here. And all of this only goes up to 2005. We still not, like, outside of this, there is 19 more years to go of looking for photos and trying to pick the best ones. So it's going to be a challenge. We haven't even gotten into the digital stuff yet, so hang with me. All right, camera battery's dead. I'm going to sign off. But cheers. Thanks to my friends at Payette Brewing for these beautiful cocktails. I don't drink beer, but they make some really nice little cocktails in cans, and they're tasty. Keep my throat from getting too dry when it's. I also drink a lot of water. Not this, but yeah. So yeah, that's it. Cheers. I'm done. for this week. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Or let me know if Wednesday might be better. I don't know how many people are even watching. Is anybody watching this? I'm going to go to... Yeah. If you're watching, send me a message or send me a thing, or I'll put a question out too onto 2 viewers, not too many people. I didn't advertise this super heavily this week. Wanted to make sure there weren't any glitches. I got to figure out that hard drive issue. But yeah, thanks for being there watching. And if you're watching this after, cheers. Thanks for watching. And I might switch it to Wednesday because Friday, a lot of people seem to be really busy on Friday nights. So yeah, cheers. Going to stop streaming.